Hello, everybody. I am SunPsychic Jean, and look who I have with me here today: Gerald from TarotStache
Hi.
Hi,
and
Gerald.
Spirit Whisperer Mark. Hi, Mark. Hi, Gerald.
Hi,
Hello.
y'all. I'm gonna put
I'm,
So nice to see you both here. Oh, there you go.
just because it's
Now,
still pride. Okay.
there you go.
Being
it's
prideful.
you really do match the background now, for
Yes.
sure.
Yes.
So thank you both for joining me here today, and everybody. We're going to be doing mediumship readings, and we just ask. You see that if you would like a message from your loved one, kindly provide the name and relation, and kindly use caps and emojis to help us choose the questions a little easier. And the questions will be chosen in random order. So it's so nice to see you both. And Mark, I was just mentioning backstage that you had your lovely uh, uh, friend Terry on, and she's also a Dwell Cool uh,
Channel.
channeler, and that was really lovely. Was it Wednesday night? Was it? No, I'm sorry. I was listening to it Wednesday. When was she on?
It was on Wednesday
Oh, good.
because earlier that day I was also on with Gerald. We did a thing earlier with Pan
Mhm.
3, and then Terry was on at 5.
Oh, wow.
It was
Yeah.
double duty. It was great fun. So I worked a lot with Pan's energy with Gerald, and then we moved into Dwal Cool energy. Uh,
Wow.
Terry's the one that taught me to channel in the first place. So Terry
Mhm.
and Cool both. Like I'll say, I felt like Dwell Cool kind of foisted me on her. She she graciously said, "Okay, I'll work with him."
Wonderful. Well, it was a great show. If anybody hasn't seen it, please do go on over to Mark's channel and check that out. And Gerald, I noticed that you've been doing a lot of creativity. I see one of your works of art behind you and some beautiful shorts going on. Tell us a little bit about what you've been doing.
I have been enjoying having great conversations with people about creativity and things of a spiritual nature that sometimes people don't have an opportunity to be with like-minded individuals. So there's this sense of building that community. I think we all need to find joy and being able to spread that joy and support each other with our creative endeavors. So I'm loving that. I'm also going to be doing more things with creativity and fabric paintings. So we will be doing more and more of that. So
Wow, that sounds so exciting. I love that. I love the color. And I saw some other people that were on social media and chatting back and forth and doing the knitting,
yep.
and they were doing their podcast, and both of them were doing the knitting. And, I think it was more of like a homesteading type of show, but still, it was really, it was beautiful. And I just thought of you right away, Gerald. I'm like, look, they're
Well,
they're
thank you.
doing what Gerald is doing. Maybe hear from him.
There you go. There you go. And it's always good to do things with your hands. It brings a lot of physicality into our spiritualness, especially when uh, we weave in and we pay attention to what we're doing. We're knitting, we're creating with intention, and that makes food taste better. That makes quilts much more powerful. Same with painting. It's truly incredible. So thank you for noticing that. That's great.
You're welcome, and thank you, thank you. Um, and if you don't mind, I'd like to let everybody know right off the bat, if you don't, if I can just share this, you guys. I didn't mention it to you before, but it'll just take a moment. I wanted to invite everybody and remind everybody that I'm going to be hosting a Path to Ascension workshop and guided journey. And this is tomorrow, June 14th, and it's at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. It's a 2-hour event and or workshop, and it's 25 per person. And if you want to register, just contact me on my website, sunpsychicgene.com, and then click on the contact link and then just say workshop or path to ascension, and I'll send you the details. But I just wanted to let everybody know that this was, I was not exactly sure it was going to be tomorrow. I was on a maybe yes, maybe no, but it's definite for now. And there's a lot of people that want to come. So I just wanted to remind everybody about that. That's also on my community page if anybody wants the link and a little bit more information. I'm looking forward to it. I think, and it's just me and it's just us on a Zoom, and it's going to be really beautiful. I like talking about ascension and bringing you there through a guided journey.
Mm-hmm. How long is the workshop?
2 hour.
2 hours. Okay. That's great. Gerald
Mm-hmm.
is writing that down so he can look at his calendar.
Oh, please.
Us.
That would be fun.
Yes.
Oh, so nice to see you. Hi, bright, shining ray. And let's go ahead and get started, you guys. I see Hattie is here. And thank you, everybody, for coming. I'd love to say hello to you, each and every one of you specifically. I see all of you saying hi. Thank you for coming. Thank you for sending your questions in. I'm just clicking away on anything that is in caps, you guys. And we are doing mediumship. So if you have a loved one who has transitioned and you would like to connect with them, please let us know their name and relation to you. And the questions are chosen at random. We'll do the best we can, but we'd like to do really, get immersed into the readings. If we choose your name, like Hattie, just let us know that you're still here, and stay nearby so that we can connect with you. I'm just trying to get down to okay, here we are. All right. So Hattie said, I would love to have a message from my dear friend Zoe. She passed 8 months ago. She was my confidant and I miss her. Oh, I'm so sorry, hey, Hattie.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Beach. So, dear friend Zoe for Hattie. Eight months ago. So, Hattie, she's telling me that you were dear friends, but you didn't know each other for long. It was almost like you met each other like after high school, after college, maybe in your 30s. But when you did, it felt like you knew her your whole entire life. Like you felt like you knew each other. There was something you may have met through work or met where you lived, but it was at the right place at the right time. And you never dreamed that it would blossom into this type of relationship, she's telling me. Oh, she wants you to know she still is and always will be your very best friend and confidant. She's saying you do still talk to her because you're like, I can't stop calling her and talking to her. She says she hears you talking to her and asking her for advice still. And she wants to reassure you that this is still the case. She wants to thank you for all of the kindness, and there was some sort of sacrifice that you did around her passing, with the services or some sort of a dedication for her. And she wants to thank you for that dedication for her. She recognizes this. I don't know if you spoke or if you did something. She's not something about maybe a bench or some sort of a memorial around her, but she just wants to thank you so much for this. How about, are you guys picking up a little bit on Zoe?
Well, Hattie said, I wrote a dedication. So you got that right. I was actually, what I was really getting, Hattie, is there was this really deep connection with her. You sort of saw each other and it was almost a, it may not have been automatic, yet it was a powerful thing. It feels like she was very much she she tended to be quiet initially, but then once you got that camaraderie together, and there was you could solve all of the world's problems. You started with your own, and there was a great beauty in this. One of the things that I pulled a card that comes really through is it's you are loved. This is the message that she wanted you to know. You are loved. She may not physically be here, but as Jean was saying, you're already you're continuing to talk with her. Please continue to do that. That lights her up. It makes her happy as well. So
only thing she's telling me is that, well, she wants you to know that she had a nice crossing, and went to heaven. It feels like that she's done quite a bit of review or work since she's been over there. She seems to be talking about that there were some issues on Earth that she needed to look at once she got to the other side. It feels like she may have had some issues maybe with her mom or something like that, that they looked at, or just that she united with their mom, something like that on the other side. But the other thing she talked about, and I don't know if it's going to resonate or not, but it just keeps going in that direction, is that maybe there was also a little bit of an issue with a guy or a partner, or, dad issues. There you go. So maybe it's more dad, not mom. Mom died young. Okay, well, that explains this meeting up with mom on this side. That was this Empress card. So it was like being embraced by mom. That was a good thing. But this other thing is there was this male in her life. So it's probably her dad if she wasn't a boyfriend or something. So you got bad guy in the fire, male energy pointing down. He was hard to figure out, or I don't know, in a way, this sounds kind of harsh, but hard to love in a way. And he wasn't feels like very open-minded. So I don't know if there was some back and forth with her and her dad, but yeah, it was not nice to her. She had to kind of, she's been looking at that since she's been over there, to try to heal some of that. The only other thing she gives me is the High Priestess. So that makes, and I pulled it twice, so that makes me think she's communicating with you. The first thing that comes up is in your dreams or at night, this High Priestess card. So she reaches out to you. That friendship, that shoulder was really important to her. And so she still, is connected to you. And I feel like she's been in your dreams or something. She's wanted to say hello to you.
Mark, I have to say, I actually pulled the High Priestess card as well.
Oh.
So 2 High Priestess.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that energy too. I talk to her always. Great. Yeah. So she hears you and everything, sweetie. That's that High Priestess card to me, is that there's that energy going back and forth. And it means a lot of things. It don't just mean that. But when I pull it in these kind of readings, it usually is speaking about that. Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Beautiful. Well, thank you, Hattie. And we're so very sorry for your loss. It's like a family member. I feel it's just it's really a lot. But thank you very much. So next I have Nancy Cornett. And after Nancy, I have, sorry, I saw somebody else here. Sabrina, Nancy, and then Sabrina. So Nancy, just say hello. And she says, any message from my son, John, who died of AIDS 30 years ago? I'm so sorry, Nancy. So they just want to remind you that 30 years here in this world is not the same as 30 years on the other side. Like it's always now. I feel like he's still the age that he was when he passed, and that he hasn't missed anything in your life. He understands that you have some, or you did have some anger, understandably, and you felt as though it wasn't fair. There was a long time for you to deal with that situation of it. I feel like it's just an impossible situation because there was such availability for cures and then such political interference, and just uncaring interference. Cruel. He says he knows you love him. Aw. And you do still have his picture. And you keep his picture out. I don't know if it's like in a china closet or on a shelf. But he's saying that you do look at it and you do still like say good morning to him, or you say something to him every day, and he wants you to know that he thanks you for connecting with him and thanks you for always remembering him and having him in your heart. And he wants you to know that he did feel and help you through the anger and the injustice of it all. And it was not fair, and you felt as though you were robbed of the love of your son. He wants you to know that he is over on the other side helping others who, like him, had this type of illness or injustice around their illness or inability to get the right kind of medical equipment because of oppression and these types of reasons. But he's there as an angel. He's telling me now that he's able to be of service for others. And this is all he ever wanted to be and do, is to be of service for others. So he wants to know he's living his hopes and his dreams from the other side. How about you, gentlemen?
I want to jump in here because, Nancy, I don't know if you and John had a good relationship. What I heard from him is you gave him exactly what he needed to be able to do what he needed to do. And I'm getting emotional as I'm saying that. He understands that now. There may have been some disagreements, but he gets it. He gets it. And he wants to remind you that grieving is one step at a time. Sometimes those steps move forward. Sometimes it feels like those steps move backwards. However, they're all steps. And his big sense, he spends a lot of time helping people feel gratitude. So there's this big sense of he's and ones that have passed over and ones that are here and who are struggling. He's nudging them, and sometimes he's shoving them toward a feeling of gratitude. And there's this he is replaying a lot of interactions that you and he had, and really enjoying them, seeing them for the purity of the love that was around. So, but please know, Nancy, he's actually really pretty busy, and yeah. So that's what I've got for you, Nancy.
Right, cool. Hey, Nancy. So, John, well, let's see what he's talking about. He's talking about that maybe sometimes he might have seemed a little distant or wasn't as outgoing as you knew he could be. Like he was a little guarded. And he says, that's because I never felt I could truly be who I was 100%. I always had to sort of swallow part of myself or keep, I couldn't be completely me. There always had to be some sort of an illusion around me. So he gets the delusion and illusion card upside down. So he didn't like it, but in some ways he was forced not to be honest. So let's say it like that. He felt like he needed to not be honest in order to move forward. It was for safety kind of a thing. And there was this sadness at feeling a lack of love. He was very much in the closet. Gotcha. A lack of love for being who he was. So he kind of walked around. Here's the 5 of Cups. Loss, sadness. Walked around with this inside. Now, he didn't wear a sign around his neck, except you could see something was up. But he just, why can't people see me for who I truly am? And he says, I truly was this. Look at this cute little Ace of Pentacles. I was just a happy, kind of go-lucky, a little bit naive soul, and then I was sort of crushed. People didn't want me to be that. And so I was squelched a little. He's just talking about his experience. I don't see him like being in blame or anything. He says, I know my mom and dad loved me, but it was, let's just show this card. So here's the 3 of Pentacles. There's mom and dad behind him, kind of cheering him, but not up side by side. So they loved him, but they could. Now you might think differently, but it was hard for them to be right on the same level. And part of that was probably because he wasn't honest with them either. You say he was very much in the closet. So it was hard for you to be on the same page if he wasn't honest. So he is taking responsibility, but he says there was always this little bit of disconnect. And he's saying mostly it was because I didn't feel I could be honest. He also wants to say that his passing was part of a big picture thing. Like it was a group soul exodus in a way with that disease. And so part of it was for the dramatics, to get people's attention, to try to stop it. But in a way, his passing, was, he's saying there was service in my passing. Let's say it like that. Mm-hmm. There was service for the group. And it seems like a sacrifice, but not really. He goes, because really, it was hard for me to be on the world the way it was. We didn't line up. He's still up there, as far as I get. He's waiting to reincarnate, but he tells me he'll wait to win the Queen of Love, the Queen of Chalices, to that love energy's back in control. He doesn't need to be here until we get to this stage, he's saying. But then So here he is waiting to return until love is back in power. He's kind of talking about this country too. And so then when that offer comes, he'll be back on the earth, he says. That's what I'm hearing. That's quite a lot.
And Nancy, just a little bit of a personal share. I never wanted to disappoint my parents as a gay man. And it took a long time for me to believe what they were saying. So he's right now, he's really pushing his heart center out and helping a lot of people who are feeling a similar way, not just necessarily disappointing for their parents for their sexuality, but there's this deep center connection that's there. And you still have it for him. I encourage you to get his picture off the shelf, dust it off, and, sing some of his favorite songs. Pour a cup of tea, coffee, do a shot, do something just so that you can raise a glass to him and cheer him on, because it feels like he's doing really pretty decent and powerful messaging and work from the place that he is. And you're right. It does. I mean, he doesn't realize it's been 30 years. For him, it was last week. So it's still raw. So, okay. Thank you for letting me say that. Now I can stop having to fight it.
Yeah, there you go.
Beautiful. Very, very beautiful. I have Sabrina, who is next. She said she's here. And Eileen Sanborn, if you're still here, just say hello and stand by. You'll be next. Sabrina Fell. Is that how you guys would pronounce it? I'm thinking
that's how I would, Sabrina.
And would love to get a message from my father, Bob.
Okay, I'm going to jump in here because Sabrina with Bob immediately showed up in a bowling shirt and wearing bowling shoes. Please tell me, did your father bowl, or did he wear bowling shirts and wear bowling shoes? I just want to make sure that this is the right one. So, yeah, that guy was pretty persistent. So.
She said, "Oh heavens, no."
Okay. Let me put that one in timeout. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of energy here, and the strongest one will push their way through. So we're looking for Sabrina's father, Bob. It happened to me recently too. Yeah. I had somebody come through with dark hair and a scruffy beard and a dark mustache with olive skin. And she's like, "That is not my dad." I'm like, okay, this guy's got, like, he wanted to come through.
Not olive skin even.
No. I know. Like, I mean, this guy was like really,
so specific. Yeah.
Okay, so Sabrina, let me just connect with you. I just wanted to make a point there.
I don't know, where you are in your life, how old you are, anything like that. But just a quick question. It might be another completely out of there question. But are you looking at changing jobs, or are you looking for a new way to work, or is there some kind of work thing that you're going through? You might be retired and don't think about work. But he seems to be talking about that to me. Like seeing you want, that you're looking at a new opportunity coming your way. No, I'm retired. I'm 70. Okay, well, we're all off on this one.
Okay, so I'm going to say, so I think this is your father, Bob. Bob was a very deep thinker in the sense that he took a lot of time. He was a hard worker. Yes, he was also, he's not necessarily just a hard worker. He was a smart worker. He liked to figure out a way to make something easier, because he's if this is him, he's sort of like he was sort of lazy. He didn't want to have to extend more than what was involved. So his message for you, Sabrina, is focus on what you know and what you can find out. He's also saying, this is really interesting, he's very precise. Focus on what you know, consider what you don't know, and explore that with intention to get more clarity around it. And then from there, you will find a clearer understanding of where your heart wants to go with it. Because where your heart wants to go with it, he didn't follow his heart initially. He had to go through the brain to get to what his heart wanted. He's encouraging you to use your thoughts to really line up with your heart and to support each other. It's a bit in balance. So that's what I have for you, Sabrina. I hope that makes a little bit of sense for you, because it feels like you're like Mark said, there's a lot of you're thinking a whole lot, Sabrina, about something of late. So
Thank you, Gerald. So Sabrina, I'm picking him up, and he's not really very straightforward. He's almost like coming through in a burst, and he's like sending me all kinds of different signals. He's not like going like this, but so I'm not sure if he had multi interests, or was doing 100 different things at once, or was not singular, but he had a wide picture. Maybe he was a visionary. He's just sending me all kinds of information, and so I'm going to have to choose one that I resonate with the most. And he wants you to know, he's saying, my dear daughter, you have a lot more living to do. He said there's a lot more bright days ahead, and try not to worry about the things that you may have missed out on, or the things that were not did not come to fruition, or the the friendships that were lost, or the loved ones who faded, or who took a step back. He wants you not to look back, and to look forward, and to know that there is a whole other chapter of your life to look forward to. That there is, I feel as though you don't have a bright outlook on the future, and he wants you to know that there's so much more to live for, that there's so much more to enjoy, and to recreate yourself, and to express and have fun and joy, and to live. It's not the quantity of life left, it's the quality. You can live your life every day to the fullest, and with the wisdom and the experience that you have, each day will be more rich than the next. So he wants you to know that there are bright days ahead, and try not to look back with regrets. And that's what he wants you to know. How about you, Mark?
No, I just keep getting, so I'm either talking to somebody else, but he won't get off that is if you've been praying or asking for something that's going to help you, and he says he's working on it and it's coming. So I don't know if you I don't even know if you prayed, but it acts like you've been focusing on it, praying for it, asking for assistance for something earthly, and he says, yeah, we're working on it. That's all I got. Okay.
Yeah, he does have a wide information coming out of this, and it's a different type of vibration. Something, and she said, yes, I understand. He does know what I'm thinking of. Spot on. And honestly, I think I got lucky on that one, because what I was, he gave me so much, but I had to pick up one that I was resonating with. And if I'm connecting to your energy, maybe I was connecting to that part of you, Sabrina. So it was a little bit of both, but he loves you, and he wants the best for you, and he sees and understands what you're going through, and he just wants you to know that he's there for you. But he must have been, I don't know if he was just extremely smart or had like really unusual qualities that not a lot of people did. Something quite unusual.
He had powerful thought processes is what it was. So yes, it's that. But boy, his brain worked differently than a lot of people's. It's like, ooh, dude, okay.
Yeah, because my brain's not keeping up with his brain. He must have been. He was Native American chief in past life, and it came through in this life. Very, very smart. You're right. Yep.
Okay, I got full body tingles on that one.
Wow. Yeah, he's amazing. He has such bandwidth. He's like he's 5 people or something. Maybe he's showing me all of his lifetimes because it was hard to track him down, wasn't it? It was interesting.
Yeah. And the bandwidth is the right word for it. Yeah. That's cool.
Yes. Thank you, Sabrina. I learned something new with your dad, Bob. Thank you very much. So Eileen is here. Did Eileen say hello? I'm sorry, you guys. It's been such a while. Oh, he was OCD. he would be picking up on me then. You know what? It was so long ago. If you don't mind, Eileen, just saying hello again. And her mom's name is Edna.
There she is.
So, okay, good. Thank you, Eileen. If my mom has a message, I saw her walk through my kitchen at 23 years old. So you were 23 and you saw her walk through your kitchen. Wow. Wow. Edna, her mother, Edna. I knew I wanted to. She was impressed that you could see her, and she was. I feel like she was going about her business, and was not expecting you to see her.
She was her mother was 23. At the age of 23, she saw her mother walk through her kitchen. Her mother was 23, and not Eileen. No, she was 23. She said, "Sorry."
So the vision of her mother looked like she was 23 years old.
That she was.
I understand. Yep. Yeah.
I wasn't clear.
I thought that though in the beginning. I was just about to ask, was it her? And then she posted that. So she was. But why would she present herself at 23?
So, Edna. She's saying yes, it was her, and yes, you did see her, but she's just saying that she's just saying she was coming for a visit. She's just saying she was coming for a visit. And I don't think that she realized that you could see her still. And no matter when this happened, but you may have the gift. Well, you definitely do if you saw her, but she's just saying that I think that she's come to visit you on other occasions that you just didn't notice her. And I do feel as though she's come on different occasions that she felt comfortable enough to come back. And it was just that time that you saw her. So Edna, was this a parallel lifetime? No. Were you coming back to visit your daughter? Yes. Were you fixing something for your daughter? She said she liked to cook and she wanted to fix you something, like make you something to eat. Is it your soul that was coming back to visit her? Yeah, and she said she told me no about the something to eat. She wanted to make you something. What did you want her to notice you? Did you want she was hoping you would notice her. And it was just happened to be in the kitchen. She's telling me now it's not that she was fixing you something. It's just that that's where you would notice her. I don't know that she knew that you could see her though. Or that was hoping. She was just coming to visit with you. Um, I don't know if she just felt comfortable in there. Your mom says, this isn't the strangest thing that's happened in your life, that other strange things have happened in your life. And she's saying that why not? Why wouldn't it be possible? She's saying just because nobody else talks about it, other people have had occurrences like this. Isn't so strange. She doesn't want you to feel um, singled out or like that this is something unique. She's saying that this happens every day. She's saying that you and her had a good relationship. You could have been closer, like maybe either in miles or in how often you see each other. She said that you were close, sort of like off and on, like, and then I feel as though there was some point in time where you were not as close, whether you having, busy with your job or busy with kids or something that you couldn't spend as much time with her. And that's when she passed. She feels as though you feel like you may have missed out on her and that you long for that opportunity to spend those beautiful moments of connection and going down memory lane together. And she just wants you to know that she's there for you and that she always will be there. She's your mom, and she understands and hears your thoughts and regrets. She doesn't want you to have any regrets. um, but I do feel as though she thinks you are. She knows she's sending you her love, and she's saying you're her beautiful angel, and she loves the way that you treat people, and she's very proud of you as her daughter. She said she couldn't make me more proud of a mom. That she's just so very proud of you for everything that you've been through. Okay, so she's just saying, oh, she finally lived with us. She lived with us. I know that. Okay.
She loved us. I think that part's supposed to be.
What was that?
I think she meant she loved us, that second part.
Oh.
She lived with us in the end, but then she loved us. I know that. Like that.
Okay. Oh, and Eileen said she looked right at me when she went through that. Wow. Wow, Eileen. Wow. You know what? Who's in the I want everybody to raise their hand. Who's in the I saw a ghost or a spirit club with their own eyes? I'm telling you, it's like 50% or more people. I'm letting you know, people just don't talk about it. Mm-hmm. How about you guys?
Go ahead, Mark.
Well, that was her that you saw in your kitchen, no doubt about it. She says she visits quite a bit. It was like kind of an odd timing is why you were able to see her for a moment. She says, well, when I come to visit, I ride in on this energy of love. And it's like a love energy. And then you just got right on and you saw me. It's interesting, though, because she gave me this Ace of Cups, the love cups. But look there's a ghost above the Ace
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
Weird of all the cards. I go, okay, well, you saw her ghost, her spirit. But it was loving. It was a very loving thing. I love that. And plus, there's part of you that knew you saw her. She also said, I love the way this little cup too is all excited about seeing the ghost. Oh my goodness. But she also says she thought she likes the way she looked at 23. And so sometimes she'll put that on. She likes that as an outfit because you can just, you don't have to have a physical on the other side. You can just be energy, but you can switch. You can look physical. You can change the way you look. Let's say that. And she says, sometimes we choose, times that we like. She goes, I was particularly cute at 23. She's saying. And that's kind of the way, that's why you saw her like that. One other thing, this is very weird, and I wasn't going to mention it. And then I pulled through my cards and say, did you want me to mention it? So I'm going to mention it. It's probably nothing. Did anybody see like a UFO or aliens? Did she or somebody in the family like have a UFO sighting? Because I'm going, why are you talking about that? And I'm going to pull another card. Yeah, she was happy when she was 23, right. To see if you wanted me to talk about that. And so then they gave me the star card, which made me think, well, that's like heavens. She said, yes. Are you saying yes? Because somebody saw an alien? I mean, a spaceship. Oh my God. This is one of those moments.
Cool.
Where, I'm going, I'm not going to talk about that. We have now a whole string of UFOs. Okay, well, she wanted to bring that up. That is so funny. And, when we were talking about, people see things. And, Jean was talking about that. And I almost thought you might go, yeah, we saw UFOs. I almost thought you were going to say that. And then I thought, Mark, I think you're crazy. And that's when I said, well, I'm going to pull one more card. And if it has anything to do with space, I'm going to say it. And then I got the star card. So anyway, so she wants to know that she's around. So either that happened before she passed or she was there with you guys when you saw it in spirit form, because she comes back and forth. She became more comfortable. Let's say this. In the last years of her life, I'm going to say you two became a lot closer. And like it was your relationship changed somehow for the better, she thinks. And so she feels comfortable visiting. I guess because she lived there too at the end, but she comes in and out quite often. Okay, that's it.
So I got an interesting message. Is this because when mom was stressed, she would actually go into a space to where she could project herself into the future to see how things were going to turn out. This is so she would experience some stress. She would put her best clothes on for when she was 23, because yes, Mark, she was all that when she was 23. She knew it. It really gave her this power, but it gave her an opportunity to look and to see how things were going to turn out for her. So she was getting a snapshot into the future, because then it helped her to feel more solid. And then she was able to move on. So it was a bit of a meditation. It was just like, yeah, mom would go forward in time when she was stressed or times were hard. So she was looking at you. I think that's really, really fun. So thanks, Eileen.
Beautiful, Eileen. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. How exciting. You never know what you're going to get, you guys.
Right.
Okay, I have, oh gosh, guys, it's so hard. Is Rachel H still here? Rachel H, if you could just say hello.
Thanks, Eileen.
Yes.
Rachel's here? Okay, good.
Yep.
Good. Thank you. I didn't tee her up and I got lost. Okay, so Rachel would love a message from her mother, Ava. Thank you, Rachel. Did she have fine hair and pull it up a lot, like in combs or fastens or hair bobbles? Um, she's just showing me that she always had to fuss with her hair. Her hair was fine. Um, I do feel as though she lived a long life. She's showing me her gray hair was especially fine. And I'm not sure if she was one that would be concerned about how she looked because of that. Does that make sense, Rachel? Could you validate that? Either yes or no is fine, but I just want to make sure I have the right Ava. Okay, no. Yeah, there's a lot of people here, you guys.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay.
Did she go by a different name? Um, and did she live in the suburbs? She's showing me herself like in the 80s with more of a suburban. No. Isn't that something? Any of you guys getting anything? I'll have to focus a little more.
Well, I'll tell you briefly what I'm getting. I feel like what she's talking to me about is grandchildren. She's kind of jumping over you, Rachel, to grandchildren. I'm wondering too, like, so her attention's on that. I'm wondering, I mean, it wouldn't be so unusual that a grandchild was born after she crossed. So there might be that, but almost like maybe somebody was expecting a baby when she was sick or something, and then she maybe crossed before the baby was born or something like that. I don't know if that was a thing or not. Or she's just talking about maybe some grandchildren that were born after she left the earth. But she's talking about grandchildren. Now watch her tell me we have no grandchildren. But that's what I'm getting. She says, too, that she visits you in dreams. I feel like she wants me to say you've seen her in your dreams, that you've been aware. Some of us aren't aware, but I feel like you may have seen her. She says she's in there quite often. She would say that maybe sometimes she had opinions and thoughts that were a little limiting, that she wasn't as aware of it when she was here as she is now, that sometimes her thoughts limited things. I hear this a lot now from people who cross over. They get clearer on the power of the mind, and what you think creates what you have. And she thinks sometimes her thoughts got in the way, like they tied her up. So here's the Eight of Swords. Her own thoughts sometimes held her back, she would say, that she sees now. That's all she's talking about, other than she's happy about grandchildren. Yeah, you saw her in a dream. Yeah, she wanted me to say, you saw me. So I don't know. Maybe there's no grandchildren, but she's talking about them quite a bit. Did somebody, like a sibling or something, have kids after she passed? Maybe not. Okay, Rachel, thanks.
So Rachel, I don't know if this is your mother Eva, but Eva is suggesting there's a necessary moving on of something that is needed. And with this is she's talking about boundaries and making sure that the boundaries that you set for yourself and for others, that they are very important, because it creates an environment to where you can determine what happens with your energy, because you are very much feeling, you're noticing now, or maybe this is Eva's message to you, is just she's trying to help you get and see what things are sucking the energy out of you, and things that are not bringing you a sense of gratification. What's taking much more from you than you are getting in return, and it's not a healthy thing. So it feels very much like she is trying to say, girly girl, you need to be paying attention to this. This is not making you happy. Do not do this. And I don't know if she ever called you girly girl. That just popped out. So that's what I have for you, Rachel. I don't know if that makes any sense from your mom. That is very true. Thank you. Okay.
Cool. Excellent. So, Rachel, I'm getting that she was a smoker. I feel like she worked. It was almost like nursing or babysitting or taking care. She was a care provider. But something where she took care of other people, and but it was. She was a product of her era, and she pretty much went along to get along. And she was, I feel like she was a little more of a follower than a leader. And I feel like she made some decisions in her life that were to please the crowd and not to please herself. I feel like she was brought up in this same type of limited thinking ways, and that she felt like this is something that she did and what her parents said was right. And so she just emulated this in her, with her children. But I do feel as though she had, I see her like having like a little bit of exhaustion on her face. Because I feel as though she always tried to keep up, but I don't feel her being happy. But she just wants you to know that she's just saying that you were better for it. Like you, even though it was a struggle and not as easy to go through having me as your mother, she's saying you're better for it, because you could appreciate where my flaws were and could direct your life. Like, I'm not going to be this way. I see it differently. And you took the initiative. You made more independent choices about your own life, because she was not independent. She did things that other people told her to do. And you said, and it was almost like a contrast, like, I'm not going to be that way. I'm not going to do that. And she said that that she's grateful that you were able to take this and make a positive out of it. I'm not sure if that means anything to you, Miss Rachel.
I will add to that as you were describing that, you were conveying that, Eva was saying, I oftentimes watched when you pushed back against what was expected and was cheering you on. So.
Yeah, she wasn't happy. And I think that maybe gave you the motivation to say, I'm not going to be miserable like my mom. Like, I wouldn't do that. You saw what made her miserable and why, and you chose your own path. And she said that it wasn't the optimal way of learning this lesson, but she's glad that you made the most of it, and chose differently for your own life and took an independent type of approach to your own life and your decisions. But she just wants to let you know that she loves you. She's doing well. I do feel as though she's over there with a man. I don't know if it's her brother or her husband, but she's saying that there is a man, but it's somebody who's close and who she maybe has had lifetimes with. But there is somebody like her contemporary that is supporting her, and they're together. Like, she's not alone. She just wants you to know she's not alone on the other side. So,
Nice.
All right. Well, thank you, Rachel. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, gentlemen. Gerald, I'm sure you have some shows coming up. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what's coming up next?
Subscribe to the channel. You can keep up to date on it. I have a show with Linda de Gonzalez tonight at the top of next hour. We're doing Friday the 13th readings. On Tuesday, I'm thrilled to have Timmy Raven on, and we're going to be talking about duality in the major arcana. So I encourage everyone to show up with that. And yeah, so that's just the teaser. There's a lot more coming.
Yeah. And all of Gerald and Mark's information and links to their channels are in the show notes below. And Mark, what do you have coming up?
Tomorrow, just my regular 4:00 Eastern Ask Anything Day show. We're trying to counterbalance the King's Parade, perhaps tomorrow. And that's it. I might actually post a video a little bit later today on the parade, actually. That's it.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, thank you all very much. I do have, I will be back this afternoon with Ginger Faye Tarot at 4 p.m. And then tomorrow I will be on with Scott Scorpio Sun Tarot at 2 p.m. And then I'm hosting the Path to Ascension workshop. I'll send you, I'll put it in my community page as well in case anybody is interested. Please like, share, and subscribe to all of our channels. It is free. And I love that all of our names are our channel names. See how we do that?
La, la, la.
It's like we thought about that.
Yeah. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us and for asking your questions and being so supportive to everybody who was receiving their messages. We love being here with you and look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Your support is greatly appreciated. If you enjoy this content, hit like, share, and subscribe. Remember to click the bell to be notified of future videos. Thanks again. Bye.